Here again with another quick thoughts video. Today we're talking about The Road by Cormac McCarthy. I really liked this book. That's it, quick thoughts over. No, so right, let's talk about it. The Road, Cormac McCarthy, probably one of his most famous books, if not his most famous book ever. It's about a man and a boy travelling towards the coast in America that has been burned in some sort of apocalypse. We never really learn much about that. We just know that everything's shit now. So it's about a man and a boy. They walk in on the road, basically, to the coast for reasons that are left really unsaid. A lot of the things in this book are left unsaid, like the man's name, the boy's name. But unlike with Jeff Vandermeer's Annihilation, I think that actually had a purpose to it and fed in to the characters, don't you? Maybe you do. If you've read it, why did I fucking ask that? Right, so let's talk about it. Cormac McCarthy is an author with a very interesting literary style. It's probably the thing that he is most known for. He creates stories with very sparse punctuation. He's got full stops. He's got the occasional comma, and that's about it. He really focuses on ultimate clarity through his prose. And for a lot of people, I think that doesn't work for them because a lot of it is very mundane. It's very simple sentence structures. It's very like he did this and this and this and this. Like it's very I don't know. It's kind of mechanical in a way. It's very simple and clean. It's like you can see like if you just open the pages, like it's very clean in its presentation style, and I think that works really well for the kind of stories that he tells, especially from the two books that I've read of his, because he's not telling these grand epics. He's telling very simple human stories about people living their lives and making decisions that often come back to bite them. And I think the clarity of his prose and the Spartan nature of it really just lets you get into that story without overthinking it. Like the other post-apocalyptic book that I've read, I've not read hardly any, but the other one that sticks to my mind is obviously Station 11 by Emily St. John Mandel, and that is a much more complicated book structurally and literary wise, like the actual prose style, than Cormac McCarthy and The Road. But that is not to say that it's better. It just presents a different kind of tone. The sparse nature of the writing in The Road really adds to the the bleak outlook for these characters. Like they're walking through a world where there really isn't that much beautiful to see, so having beautiful prose to describe it is totally meaningless. They're walking along and they would just say, yeah, and there was like a dustbin on fire, and they carried on. And there was a corpse in a bush, and they carried on. Like it's very simplistic. I was reading a review on Goodreads, and someone said there was a sentence where the main character, like the man, the dad character, it's like the sentence goes, it's like a little paragraph describing him going into a building and getting some food, and it's like he went into the door and he picked up the can and he found a can opener and he opened the can and he put the food in the pan and he heated the pan and he ate the food. And it's like, yes, I can see how that sort of very rote performance-y kind of very direct descriptive prose style would put some people off. But I think in this kind of story it just sort of adds to the tone of the story is going for, because it's a very bleak book. There's not a lot of hopeful moments in there, and I think, you know, showing somebody going through the motions in that kind of detail is more about, you know, these are the things that he does. This is like his process for how he goes about his day and how he goes about surviving. It's not about, you know, his inner torment. It's about, you know, this is a man who is doing these things, and that kind of very clear style sort of highlights to me like how it's not a big endeavor for him. Like, this is just the way of it, and like he does this, and then he does this, and then he does this, and then he's eating, and that's it. There's not, there doesn't have to be a grander scheme to it all, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. But I don't know. Weird point. Maybe I'll do it. I want to talk about this sort of prose marrying up with substance in a more complicated video, so I'm going to save some of the thoughts on that. But anyway, as I say, this book is quite bleak. A lot of people were warning me as you go in, oh, you know, it's going to destroy you, it's going to make you depressed. I was depressed forever after reading The Road. I didn't find it that depressing. Maybe it's because I'm just fucking dead inside. No, I don't think it is. But I think what Cormac McCarthy does well in The Road is, even though a lot of the stuff is really bleak, it would be really easy to think, you know, like, well, why are they even bothering? And one of the characters even at some point says, you know, like, I don't know why we're even bothering anymore to do this. But then there are buried in there a few like really heartwarming moments and moments of joy where you can see why they carry on, especially why the man would carry on, I guess. But you know, for the boy, maybe not so much. But I mean, thematically, it's more about, like, the story is about a man and a boy really trying to work out how do you raise a child in the apocalypse. And after a while, you know, is a child in that environment really a real child anymore? I mean, is he just as adult as the man is? And obviously not in body, but in terms of his sensibilities and his responsibility, I would argue probably yes. And that's probably the narrative arc of the book, is how the boy becomes the caretaker for the man, rather than vice versa. But that's really it for my thoughts, quick thoughts on The Road by Cormac McCarthy. Really good. I really enjoyed it. I will probably read many more McCarthy works. I really like No Country for Old Men as well. I think he's got a very good style. I think he tells interesting stories. So if you've got any recommendations for the next McCarthy book to read, that'd be good. Share those in the comments, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.